Alright, so welcome back to another day of the 100 Days Design Challenge with Xpress. Now today we'll be designing a church fly. First thing I'm going to do is pick my dimension, okay? So I'll be working with this. This is okay. So you can just copy this 1472 by 1840 pixels. And then I'm going to create. Alright, so the first thing I want to do here is add my background. So I'm going to put my background from here. So this is the background making use of this. Let's see. Okay, making use of this background here. Alright, so I'm just going to expand this to take the whole of the space. So now the next thing I want to do is import. I'll just come to my text, my shape tool here and pick my rectangle tool. I'm just going to expand this across here. Alright, so let me just add the border. So let me centralize this. I'm just going to take this drag and drop. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is let me change the color. So I'm going to be using something like this color probably. Alright, so alright, let me draw this out. Alright, so I'm just going to Ctrl J, then I'm going to reduce the paper. I'm going to drag and centralize it. Increase the side a bit. Alright, I think this is good. Let me just change the color to black, and then I'm going to select the second one. You can convert both of them to smart objects. Convert both of them to smart objects, and then I'm going to just separate this. Alright, so now the next thing I want to do is I want to import this here, the light here. I'm just going to drag and drop a sort of Photoshop. Alright, so once I expand this now, I'm just going to merge it. So I'm going to pick this screen here, this screen. Once I'm ready to paste a bit, let me add it here. Now next I want to import my image. The first image I want to import is this one here. So I'm going to take this image, drag and drop set of Photoshop, and then I'm just going to select the subject. Select and then subject, okay. Let me zoom in on this. Alright, let me go to my tool here. I'm just going to add this selection. Just going to add here. Then I'm going to separate this. Let me just increase this image here a bit. So what I'm going to do also is Ctrl P, then I'm going to transform it, and then I'm going to flip it horizontally. So Ctrl T. Then I'm going to click on this and then flip it horizontally. Alright. So now the next thing I want to do, I want to add another image again. So I'm just going to go to my file here and then I'm going to import this. So I'm going to import this image here. I'm going to drag it and drop in Photoshop. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to select this. I need the female part of this image. So I'm just going to select the subject here. Once it's done selecting the subject here, I'm just going to, okay, so for this now, I need this hair here. So I'm just going to go to my quick selection to here and just add here. And make sure it's on plus here. If you want to add, make sure it's on plus. If you want to remove some parts, make sure it's a minus. But I want to add, so I'm going to, alright, so I'm just going to separate this. Okay. So I'm just going to take this here and I'm going to cut out just this part. This is the part I need. So I'm going to do this here. I'm going to cover this with smart object. Alright. So let me move this guy inside a bit. Let me move this here. Okay. Now the next thing I want to do is so I'm going to select these two images first and then I'm going to reduce it a bit. It's looking too large. I don't want something too large. Okay. Now the next I'm going to do is I'm going to import this image of a crowd. Then I'm just going to drag and drop side here. I'm going to increase this. Alright, so I'm going to move this behind backwards. Alright, and then I'm going to try to merge it. So I'm going with the screen. Alright, so now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to take my shape tool here and then I'm going to drag across here and just drag and drop. So I'm just going to take this. Let me reduce this size. Okay, this is nice. That's the. And then I'm just going to replicate this. So just cut the key and then just. Alright. So the next thing I want to do now is I'm going to take this here. Then I'm going to unlink this and then increase this side a bit. Alright, that's good. So let me just take this behind. I'm going to take these two shapes behind the images. So one of these, now I'm going to change the color. That one will be a darker shade of purple, and the one on top will be a lighter shade of purple. It will be a lighter shade of purple. Alright. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to take my text and I'm going to write Sunday service. Alright, so I'm going to write Sunday service. I'm going to select both of them. I'm going to change my font to terminal. That's okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to centralize this. My Sunday service here, I'm just going to select everything, change the color to white, and then I'm going to centralize it. Okay, and then I'm just going to drag it to the center. I'm just going to take it and drag to the center here. And I'm just going to increase it. I want it to go from the beginning of the shape to the end of the shape. Increase it. I'm going to take it behind the images, those two images there. Alright, good. So now the next thing I want to do is let me just duplicate this slide here. This slide I'm just going to just control alt press and then I want to drag to the side. Let me just duplicate it again once more. This side here. And I'll probably duplicate it again to this side here. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is I'm just going to what this image is now. I'm just going to create cover them both of them to smart object and then using this logo I'll just drag and drop this logo inside Photoshop here and then I'm just going to let me raise it up and then let me centralize it and then I'm just going to reduce this. Okay. Alright, that's good. That's good. And then the next thing I want to do is I'm just going to add a layer. After adding my layer, I'm just going to take my brush to come to my color here. I'm just going to select a bright shade of this colors. I'm just going to pick this and then I'm just going to add a layer. Now after adding my layer, I'm just going to take my brush to and then let me increase it. I'm just going to shade across here. That's too much. Okay, let me then I'm going to just reduce this. Right. I'm going to reduce this place right across. This I'm going to reduce here also. Yeah, reduce this and reduce this also. And next I'm going to do, I'm not going to take my brush to create a layer mask on top of this layer I created here. And I just use the brush to just wipe off the edges. Just to wipe off the edges. Wipe off these edges. Alright, that's good. Let me just bring this down a bit. Alright, so I can alright, no, let me colorize this. Let me use the color value and change this color to purple. White is okay, let's leave that white. Alright, so what I'm going to do here now, try on this layer, I'm going to go back to my I'm going to go to my downloads. I'm going to add an image of a crowd again. So let me just take this. This is okay. I'm going to increase this. Okay. Let me create a layer mask on top of this. Take my brush tool and just wipe the top here. Let me increase the brush. I just erase the top here. Good. So on this, I'm just going to go to my hue, go to my hue and saturation. I'm going to clip this here directly on top this crowd image I added, and then I'm going to colorize it. Okay, and then I'm going to change the color to purple. Good. So what I'm going to do next now, I'm just going to add my dates, my time, and my location. So I'm just going to take my text too and write here. I'm going to write the word 8 a.m. Okay, I'm going to change the color to white. Alright. So let me reduce this a bit. And then I'm going to add a shape, an ellipse too. I'm going to press shift, add a circle here. Alright, so I'm going to give it the color of the dark purple color. Alright, so let me just move this out here. Okay, then I'm just going to add a triangle tool also again. I press shift so I get a perfect triangle. So I'm going to use the color of white. Let's change this to white. And then, so let's zoom in on this so I can see what we're doing. So I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to press shift and rotate this so I'll get a perfect angle. Okay. Then I'm going to place this in the center here. Good. Now I'm going to take my text to again and just write this Sunday. So CHAHI. So Control A. Now I'm going to for my paragraph. I'm just going to let them align on the left side. So I'm just going to click the left align. Then change the weight of the font. I'm going to use, let me see, medium here, and then I'm going to reduce this. Just reduce this. So let me increase this a bit. Alright, that's good. Now the next thing I have to do is just to add my location. So I'm just going to come here, search for location panel. Search for my location. I'm going to drag this and drop inside of Photoshop. Alright. Okay, so I'll have to make the white here show more because so that I'm going to have a good contrast here. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come here where I have, so I'll just come here to where I have that layer, where I have this white layer across here. So I can just duplicate another one on top of it. So just press Ctrl G and Ctrl J again. Let's just use that. So let me merge three of them. Let me convert to a small object. And let me drag it down a bit. Okay. Let me move it up right in front of this text. Let me reduce it. So let me just take my brush. Let me create a layer mask on top of this. Just right on down. I'm just going to sorry. Let me reduce that brush. Just right on down. I'm just going to wipe. Sorry. Reduce the brush. So just right under it. I'm just going to wipe. Alright, now I'm just going to add a location there. So let me just copy this text here. So copy, just press Alt and then G to draw and drop. So now I'm going to change the color of the text. Since it's a white background here, I have to use a color of text that I can see, right? So let me use, let's say, let's use the purple instead, the dark shade of purple instead. Okay, so I'm just going to edit this word new and living way church, comma, Seals Plaza, Seals Plaza, comma, Navy Town, comma, Lagos. So I can just, for this top part, I can just select this. Still with this same font family, I can just come to the weight of the font here and just select bold there. Okay. Then I just take it with my location here and just centralize both of them. Just drag to the mid. Alright. So with that, we've come to the end of Fire Design for today. Thank you for sticking with us to the end. I hope to see you in the next video. Please click on the share, like, and subscribe button, and also make sure you click notification bar so you get notified for posting a new video. Thank you for staying to the end. Have a nice day.